How to use data warehouses in business intelligence. Business intelligence, as we know it today, will not be possible without the data warehouse at its core. Business intelligence is the ability to answer complex questions about your data and use those answers to make it informed business decision. In order to do this well, you need a data warehouse which not only provides a safe way to centralize and store all your data, but also method to quickly find the answer you need when you need them. And it's a pretty important tool by 2025. It's estimated humanity will have produced a total of 175 zettabyte of data. Broken text, that's 175 million terabytes. Where does all of this information go? Well, most of it is goes in the data warehouses. Companies use data warehouses to manage transaction, understand their data, and keep it all organized. In short, the data warehouses make a large amount of information more usable for organization of all size and types. This has made them lin- linchpin, linchpin of data pipelines and business intelligence system the world over, and understanding how data warehouses work can help you fulfill the full potential of business intelligence. It's not complex as it may seem. In, what is the role of data warehousing in business intelligence? In business intelligence, data warehouses serve as the backbone of data storage. Business intelligence relies on complex queries and comparing multiple sets of data to inform everything from everyday decision to organize wide shift in focus. To facilitate this, business intelligence is comprised of three overarching activities: the data wrangling, data storage, and data analysis. The data wrangling is usually facilitated by extract, transform, and load, or ETL. Technologies which will explain in detail below, and the data analysis is done using business intelligence tools like Carcio. The, the glue holding this process together is data warehouses, which serve as a facilitator of data storage using OLAP. They integrate, summarize, and transform data, making it easier to analyze. Even to data warehouses serve as the backbone of storage. They are not the only technology involved in data storage. Many companies go through data storage before reacting the point where they absolutely need a data warehouse. Assessment, differentiation of OLTP and business intelligence. And these are the feature: who asks what. We do ask a lot of what and why question, or even how. Some belong to the online transaction processing application like traditional database. Some belong to the data warehouse and business intelligence related to the application. If you ask question about a specific order, specific product items, specific customer in terms of product inventory level for specific product on status of a customer's order and a customer's payment record and more, that online transaction processing system area. A border more aggregated, summarized, deeper analysis related question belong to the data warehouse and business intelligence. What factor affect order processing time, and how did their product line or category contribute to the profit last quarter? Which product has the lowest gross margin, and more that belongs to BI Arena? The number two is explain the process of data warehousing architecture. These are the the data warehouse and BI architecture process. This diagram shows us the architecture for data warehouse and BI, kind of the process how the raw data might migrate to a data warehouse and eventually be used the end user for analytical purposes. Over here has the data source. We have a multiple source for data. It could be in the traditional transaction processing system. It could be flat file and Excel or workbook. It can all be source for the data which need to be integrated and consolidated and put into a specialized database which we call data warehouse. The data warehouse conceptual is still database, but sometimes we use specialized database technology to handle data story in the data warehouse. Get the data into the data warehouse from multiple sources. It requires a lot of effort and process. It was called ETL or extract, transform, and load. You extract data from multiple sources. You perform multiple transformation, even and eventually in a batch mode. He will load the data into the data warehouse. Data warehousing is enterprise-wide in nature. We may create a subset of the data from our data warehouse into something called data mart. It is just like a subset of our data warehouse, and we still use ETL tool to create this data mart. From the data mart or data warehouse, we can create data cube or lab cube. It's an online analytical processing cube. This cube kind of conceptually a multi-dimensional data set that the driven form the data warehouse and which is ready to be used by the front end tool. This tool this tool include a simple query tool, reporting tool, analytical analysis tool, or even a data mining tool. Pivot table, an example of analytical tool that's building into Excel. We can extract data from the data warehouse into Excel pivot table, which allows us to analyze it in a multi-dimensional way. This give you an overview of what constitute the environment, the software hardware environment for data warehouse and BI application. The number three is what is a normalized database for OLPT. And these are the feature and feature written explanation. The reason we want to build a data warehouse for the business intelligence application is that the online transaction processing application database is usually fully normalized. The database normalization is one of the techniques in database design that is particularly applicable for online transaction processing application databases. You usually have a much of smarter table here. Instead of grouping order into a single table, we have order and order detail. We have a category table which separate from the product. This will allow to us process transaction very efficiently. If we are changing the price, there's only one place on the product table which you need to worry about. We need a lot of time to join the multiple tables, which is every expensive and load of process. You can join three tables together in finding what you need if you have thousands of products in PVS. People who place an order are expect to get an confirmation for their order go through in probably like 2 seconds. But if you conduct such expensive query, you may slow things down dramatically. That way we want to move our data our data from this normalized database designed to normalize and aggregate a specialized database and data warehouse. Once we denormalize it, actually, the data will be combined together, which make it very easy for the end user to understand what in there. Number four is differentiation of OLTP and OLAP. These are the picture, source of data, yan. Picture, may explanation lang ako. Uh, Here we see the difference between OLPT and OLAP. The OLTP was for handling business transaction and recording data generate for their business event. And basically, all apps relies on a data warehouse, and some of the data analysis tools is generate BI. First, the source of data in OLTP, it was operational data, which is the original source of data, while on OLAP, it was consideration data. Next was the purpose data. In OLTP, they control and run fundamental business tasks, while on OLAP is more on helping with planning, problem solving, and decision support. Next is the data in OLTP is it reveals a snapshot on the ongoing business process, while on OLAP it is a multi-dimensional view. For queries, OLTP was more relatively standardized, simple queries, while on OLAP are more complex queries. For processing speed, the OLTP was faster than OLAP. Space requirements, the OLAP requires more indexes than OLTP because OLTP can be relatively small for the database design. OLTP has more tables than OLAP. And lastly, for the backup and recovery, OLTP was likely to entail significant monetary loss and legal liability, while on the OLAP, just simply reloading and recovery method.